Hello everyone, welcome to our Wellness Wednesday Live here on Planet Wellness. This is Patrina and
Ronald.
So say hello if you're watching live and hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay. Please also like our page if you're watching it on the YouTube channel later on. So today we've got another treat for you, a wellness tip. And we will be talking about cucumbers. Over to you, Ronald.
Yes, it's very appropriate that we talk about cucumbers today. We saw about a few days ago that today in London, it's supposed to be 30 degrees Celsius, which is like, wow, this is about 5 to 8 degrees warmer than normal. And at 30 degrees here, it's pretty warm, so, and if you're there about 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, you get burnt for sure, especially if you've been locked down for about 8 months. Now, so why is cucumbers so appropriate? Cucumbers is a member of what I call a Cucurbitaceae family. Cucurbitaceae, right? And the key part is the Bitaceae, right? Now, it belongs to the same type of family as bitter melon, bitter gourd. Bitter melon is it's like a cucumber, but it's all covered in warts. It's also known as chlorella. So you got the bitter melon, bitter gourd, cucumber. You got several types of cucumber. You've got the Lebanese cucumber, the short one, Egyptian cucumbers. You've got English cucumbers. You've got the Brazilian cucumbers. And you've got the long cucumbers that they sell commercially in the supermarket. But today I'm going to show you one. I'm going to show it to you. See, that's what they call the crooks, right? They breed them naturally so they don't stay straight. All these other commercial cucumbers you see are actually straight, right? So, but the crooks, they tend to bend like that, or they tend to even twist on themselves, right? And the taste, to me, these taste the best because they're naturally grown. They don't use a lot of pests. They don't use any pesticides because it's grown naturally. That's why it's called crooks. So they bend. Now, why cucumbers so vitally important? Number one, there are 75 trillion cells in the body, right? 75 trillion cells. Now, about 70%, between 65 and 70% of our insides and the skin is actually made up of water, like a plasma, like that's what it's made. That's how high it is. Even our muscles have got a lot of water in them. And so therefore it is very, very incumbent on us, very important that we take a lot of hydration, right? Hydration is critical to keep your skin moist, your inside in quite damp conditions. Not damp sick, but damp where the actual cells actually got enough water inside each cell. And we're talking 75 trillion cells. And that's how many there are. And then, of course, hydration in this sort of weather is from 20 degrees onwards. You've got to have hydration of some kind. Otherwise, you get blood pressure problems. You'll be feeling tired, fatigued because you're not getting enough hydration in the body, right? The other factor that's important is that cucumbers are very, very good for the liver and the kidneys. Now, you've heard me say that before. The liver is an incredibly important organ because it sits on the right side of your chest. And what it does, it helps to flush or filter 5 liters of blood every 4 minutes. Every 4 minutes, day or night. Unless you're dead, right? But day or night, every 5 liters of is filtered to your liver every 4 minutes, which is incredibly amazing. So that is a very important organ to keep in hydration. So I notice when I eat 1 or 2 cucumbers per day, the next day you actually have a liver decongestion. That it decongests your liver. It is also brilliant for the kidneys because the kidneys have got 1 million nephrons each. 2 kidneys, two kidneys. You have 1 million nephrons each. The nephrons are very tiny little filters, and they're in really big need of hydration. Right now, in addition to that, It has got vitamin K, which is good for your blood. It's got potassium. It's got magnesium. It's got a sort of amount of the calcium, but the K is important because that's what keeps your insulin pancreas flowing naturally where the blood sugar doesn't go too high. If your pancreas doesn't work if it gets it just right and insulin is coming in when you're eating something sweet, even if you're eating bread, that will have some sort of sugar in it. And what actually happens when the pancreas is overshooting the insulin, there's too much insulin, your blood sugar is going to get affected. Either it's going to go too high or too low, and that can be the start of diabetes. And you don't want to get diabetes because diabetes is the leading source of amputations and the leading source of poor vision. That is it affects your eyes. When you get diabetes 1 or 2, it affects your eyes. So cucumbers are very helpful to keep diabetes at bay and keeping your pancreas in great shape, right? I would recommend about one of those per day. I'll look at the size of it. That's about 1 foot long, okay, and about 1 inch wide. So, and I'm going to give you a recipe towards the end about a fantastic recipe. You'll love it, and where you can make the salad, especially in this hot weather, and it will keep you refreshed and full of protein. Now, what else is it good for? Studies have shown when you're eating cucumbers every day that it creates a certain amount of antioxidant which fight free radicals which cause cancer. And cancer, every night you see it on TV, one of the three will get cancer. That's how high it is. And cancer is not a jolly matter. It's a very serious. Most of us have had somebody we know, either family or friends, who've got cancer or had cancer, and they've died of cancer. Everyone. And it's getting worse and worse because the food we're getting is getting worse and worse every day, especially with the way that we've had in lockdown. We just can't get to the right food. You can't get to the garden and everything else. You can't get the right vegetables because there's a lot of foreigners that can't work here anymore on a cheap scale because they've been pushed out. So all of these things. So the best thing you can do is actually be aware that you plant your own cucumbers, you plant your own fruit. That's where your keys. And so in addition to all those benefits, guess what else? It's also very good for making salads, right? Now, I've been to races, like Ascot and Melbourne race and so on. And what actually happened? Everybody fawns over the cucumber sandwiches, very English. So, and what they do with the white, the caterers are very clever. They buy cheap white bread, right? They get a sharp knife. They take the edge of it, which is the wheat base. They take that out so you've got all this soft stuff, right? And then they put a bit of margarine. That's what they use, margarine or butter, a bit of mayonnaise, and they put cucumber. They put cucumbers, slices of cucumber.
Which has been removed. The skin has been removed.
The skin has been removed, exactly. So they remove the edge of the bread, so all the fibre is like gone. You're left with white non-fibre, right? That's dead right. They take the skin off the cucumber, so you get the inside. And the ladies who are 60, 70 got dentures. Oh, lovely sandwich, lovely sandwich. Have a glass of champagne with it. They don't realise that they're actually eating a poison because you're not getting the chlorophyll from the skin of the cucumber. You're not going to digest it because you've taken the skin away. That's the minerals, right? So, and they sell these sandwiches for £5 for 2 small sandwiches. £5. I mean, cucumbers you can get for like 30 pence for one, right? And a loaf of bread is like £1.50. So they make a fortune. These are the caterers. So, and they prey on this snobbishness of cucumber sandwiches at Ascot, and oh, it's lovely. We go to Ascot just to eat sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches. Well, so be it. I'll tell you what, if they give me those sandwiches, I'll put my own out of my own bag and eat it.
Or even in high teas at posh restaurants,
Yeah.
they will serve all these similar sandwiches.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, if you dare pull out your sandwich out of your bag, they tell you to get out. Because they're making so much money from it. Now, there's a couple of other benefits which are probably unknown. If you get hay fever and you get pollen in your eyes, right, after a long day in the garden, one of the best things is to cut a cucumber sideways, about maybe half a centimetre thick, and put it in water, clean water for a while, and then you lie down and you put the cucumber here, the slice, there and there, and you sit there, you lie there on your bed or your couch for half an hour, and you'll be amazed how good your eyes become. It will soften the actual pollen and get it out of your eye. It also helps with if you've got deep bags, in the eye. Of course, at a certain age, when you get to 50 or so, you're going to get some bag. I mean, that's natural aging. But I've seen people at the age of 40, they look like skeletons. The bags are black underneath here, right? So the cucumber on a daily basis, placed like that, will help to get out the puffiness and the soreness of the pollen in the eyes, right? Guess what else is good for? To making phenomenal, healthy, tasty salad. I'm going to give you my favorite recipes. 2 cucumbers, right? About this big, 2 like that, 2 of those, right? Wash the outsides thoroughly, leave the skin on, chop it up in small 1 centimetre pieces, okay? You can make bigger if you like, or you can just slice it up, right? And if you slice it up, you get a sharp knife and you just slice it up like that. See, you slice it up like that, okay? About maybe half a centimetre thick. Now that goes first in your salad bowl. That goes first. The next thing you put in a very small onion. Where was that onion we had here before? Anyway, the 1 small red onion, chopped up fine. You can put a clove of garlic, chopped up really fine. And then on top of that, you can put apple. You can put a chopped up apple. It becomes like a bit of a Waldorf salad. You can put chopped up apple, especially a red apple. In addition to that, you put some, you can grate a bit of ginger, right? You put a teaspoon of sel de Guérande. You've heard me say that many times. It's a salt that comes from Guérande in the northwestern France. It is a very good, high quality, no process. It's coarse grey. It's a magnificent flavour, right? You can crush it in a mortar and pestle, spread that on this mixture I've just said, and in addition to it, apart from the apple, the pear, the cucumber, the red onion, what else do we put in? Remember?
Lemon juice.
Lemon, that's right. Yeah. Lemon juice and a bit of olive oil, and then you top it up with 1/4 cup of French goat cheese or English goat cheese, and then also about 1/4 cup of feta. Greek, make sure it's Greek, not Greek style, Greek feta. When you mix feta and goat cheese together, you get a magnificent high protein mixture, right? So remember, you've got your cucumber, the red onion, the bit of ginger, bit of garlic. You know, you can put a few other things, like you can put some avocados with it.
Cherry tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes you can put in. You can put in 6 fairly middle-sized tomatoes chopped up as well.
Okay, organic celery.
Organic celery you can put in there. And then add apple cider vinegar, maybe a tablespoon. Put about 2 tablespoons of Greek extra virgin olive oil. Mix it all up with a salt, with a sel de Guérande. And make sure the cheese has got quite a drizzling of olive oil. And then just sit down and relax. Now, if you want to add even more protein, I'm sure you've heard of tahini, T-H-I-N-I. Tahini is sesame seed extract. If you can get the black tahini, that's the richest. It comes from Israel. Very, very good quality. So if you've got tahini, goat cheese and feta cheese, you've got a magnificent bodybuilding mixture, okay? In addition to all this, when you add it with the greens and a bit of lettuce and celery, you're adding a lot of fiber, and then you'll never be constipated. You're going to keep your waist under 32 inches. So if you want more details about the recipe, give them a formula where we can get there.
Yeah, I will share it in the link below later on. Okay.
So I'll look forward for people who are listening and people who get wishing later about how you find that salad I've just explained. Now, I would highly recommend, and it's not, you're not getting bored, I'd highly recommend making a salad like that every day during summer. Every day. In winter, it's not so warm, but even in winter, maybe once every 3 days, it's good to have it because the protein will keep you warm. Right? But when you have it in summer, It cools you down, it hydrates you, it keeps your muscles strong, keeps your joints strong, it keeps your brain sharp because the protein in the ghost cheese and it's got fat in it, and the fat goes to your brain. The good fat goes to the vein, especially with the olive oil, and your brain will retain what they call a cognitive function. Now, be very careful with what I'm saying to you. I've seen so much evidence in England where 1 out of 3, at least, will end up with Alzheimer's or will end up with dementia. 1 out of 3. And they're talking about 11 people out of 100 of current population getting Alzheimer's dementia. And the cost for that will be into tens and tens of billions of pounds. You know, the government should be encouraging everyone to listen to someone like me, right? And we would reduce the cost of Alzheimer's dementia by at least 80%. Alzheimer's and dementia are not just caused by stress. It is caused by poor foods. Now, if you don't have enough quality fats to feed your brain, that starts the beginning of Alzheimer's and memory loss. Right? The moment you start to get memory loss, get onto it. Get on this recipe, talk to us, and we'll explain more. Okay, so have a great week, and we're looking forward to see you on Wednesday next week with another fantastic formula.
Okay, so thanks so much, Picola, for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, and if you're watching on the replay as well, please tag your friends and share this video so that it can reach a wider audience and we can help educate more and more people how to live more healthy. So till next time, take care and have a wonderful week. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.